Well, hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to my YouTube travel channel. Um, you're welcome to check out some of the other videos that I've previously posted there. But if this project goes successfully today, which I hope it does anyway, I'm sitting right outside of a couple different attractions that I am interested in checking out. And I would like to share them along with other people who also may be interested in some of the same hobbies and interests and attractions and so forth. So this is the direction that I'm going to plan on taking my YouTube channel in. I took some notes here. I traveled to, this is somewhere near Tampa, which Tampa's really growing on me really fast. I think this area is, it's pretty awesome, actually. Let me just put it that way, especially on a clear day. So there's actually a couple attractions right here in this tucked away in this residential neighborhood, and the first one is the Mosaic House of Dunedin. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name of this town. It's one of the towns that's kind of nearby Newport Richey, where I'm stationed at the moment, here in Florida. Somebody, if you're checking in, maybe you know how to pronounce it. Dunedin? 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 Okay. Dunedin. I'm going to say Dunedin. Because it sounds good to me. Located at 1524 Alamo Lane in Dunedin, Florida. And I take it that I'm looking at the Mosaic House, which I'll show you in just a moment, because on one side of the street here we have, in this residential neighborhood, once again, keep in mind, this is not in any kind of museum district or riverfront district or anything like that, part of the city. This is totally tucked away. I mean, it totally looks like it's just some guy that owned the house decided to just collecting and building these zany projects, little by little, and then it just kind of, collected over time into what it, came to be, and now it's a museum art piece, So we'll check that out. But they're right together here. It seems like maybe one guy got the idea off of the other guy, maybe they're friends with each other. I don't know the whole story behind it. All right, without further ado, how about we go take a look? Okay. As you can see, this is the perspective. This is a standard residential neighborhood. That's my car, just for reference. And that's just what I mean, across the street. We'll go have a look at that in a moment. It's quite a spectacle to see. That's probably whimsical, but I also want to point out that this is a very similar art piece going on here, and I'm still not sure. I mean, it can't be the same one that I was talking about before. I mean, this has to be somebody's art exhibition or something. Anyway. Let's see the sculptures here. Let's see if I agree with any of these. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Wow, that's pretty deep, man. Alright, we'll have to really ponder that a little bit later. Watch your habits, they become character. Oh, alright, that's pretty deep. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your words, they become actions. Ooh, wow. It sounds like this stuff comes straight out of the Bible, but it's not. This is not from the Bible. Anyway, watch your character; it becomes your destiny. Wow. Anyway, I think the rest are. Love is a fruit in season at all times and within reach of every hand. The journey in between what you once were and who you are now becoming. Ooh. Watch your actions, think of habits. Wow. That's wow, man. That's pretty deep stuff. I guess I'm gonna, with my new video log format here, as an alternative to photography, I'm still gonna kind of treat it sometimes as if I'm looking at it. You know, almost as if I'm looking at it like a photograph, if that makes any sense. So, but anyway, this is neat. This is kind of outside of this little garden-esque. See, they have this enclosure around the outside that's not a full enclosure, but it gives it a nice feeling of there being some different spaces within the yard, actually. And come to think of it, this is actually starting to appear more and more like a garden. That's wild. Yeah. Well, you know, my favorite types of gardens, you know, I studied landscape architecture. That's what I have a degree in, master's degree, Auburn University. Just want to give a little shout out there. This is, you know, this is what I studied in school, and this is kind of the part of the aspect of, this is basically the reason why I decided to study landscape architecture in the first place. Just so I could design like some really wacky, wild stuff like this. And it's great because it's like an extension of the inside into, you know, it appears to be like a series of outdoor rooms, almost outdoor spaces. Anyway, I have the a little deja vu for a second. I felt like I've been here before. I love that creaking sound, whatever it is. Just kind of just adds to the ambiance of the area. I almost feel like I'm, you know, I've been to Bali before. You know, I've been to Indonesia. It's got to be Indonesia. I've been through Bali before and stayed there for a couple weeks, or maybe a week. And this kind of really reminds me of that, actually, that atmosphere. You see a lot of this kind of stuff there. Along with, you know, like little residential areas. We'll drive through these little residential areas, and all of a sudden, there'll be this like little tiny temple. It's like a homage to, you know, some local hero or something. Totally looked like my cousin there, Nancy. I swear to God, it looks like almost identical to her. Anyway, yeah. Would not be totally impossible anyway, I guess. So this is what's being used as the enclosure, I guess you say. You know, the kind of the boundary, but it's, you know, the yard here is being given a boundary with a very creative perspective. You know, it's not being treated just like a straight up fence saying like, oh, this is the boundary of our yard. Instead, they're turning that into kind of a invisible boundary, I guess you say, creating a little garden out of it with a unique little curve shape there. It's just so much better sometimes to have, you know, like a curved shape on one side and then the longitudinal shape on the other side, like that. Just, I don't know. I like variety in my gardens. And once again, there's the, I think that's the place, main place that we're there for. Check that out. Nice little chair here for reading. Something pretty deep and philosophical about the meaning of life, whatever. Great, you know, great edge there. All right, well, I just think this is awesome. That's all. Just really cool to have. You know, it makes me feel basically like I'm back overseas again, which I just really, you know, I miss it. I miss it sometimes. All right, let's go check out the other place, shall we? Well, so actually it turns out this place is an Airbnb. I'll show you. Watch. This is a private residence and also an Airbnb called Casa Loco. So there you can find online. Oh, they have guided tours of all three properties: Whimzeyland, Casa Loco, and what? Wowsy, along with additional safety harbor sites. Call to book today. Well, okay. Well, they have some other places, I guess. All right. So that was our first little stop, which we discovered was an Airbnb. Can be found right across the street, evidently, from what I do believe is the place I was looking for, called Whimzeyland. And as we saw just recently, the sign says that they actually have some other properties as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to go look at those today, but I would like to do some further research on them and find out if they might be interesting enough for me to want to come look at some other time and maybe check out in one of my other videos to share with you all. All right. So next up, we're going to go right across the street over to check out the main gig for, I guess, the first part of the video for today. All right. It's called Whimzeyland. Let's go have a look-see. Okay. Creep around the other direction. I just noticed that they have CDs on the trees here. No, on all of them actually. Call it pebbles there. Pebbles and marbles, like. Boy, does this ever remind me of this place I went to see when I was in Vietnam, man. It's totally takes me right back inside that place, like almost instantaneously, man. My God, is this ever deja vu, man? I love the sign here, how colorful it is. Let me get a look at what somebody saw. Yeah, there we go. So keep in mind that this is definitely a garden first and foremost before anything else, in my opinion. this is coming in on the main entrance there. I'm just going to go ahead and say this. This is probably like the coolest thing I think I've seen in like a really long time, and it's just making me so have such a great day today. That's all. That's all I'll say. I mean, I wonder if these are the same people that did the crazy house in Vietnam also. The path here. All the detail. It's like maybe this is the main entrance here. So quiet it is right now. I love that. I had the crazy house all to myself when I was there too, because I stayed inside the actual attraction for the night in one of their guest houses. Also, it gives you a nice break from the weather too. But, you know, Florida, a pretty hot day. Everybody's welcome. Disco balls. pictures. There we go.
This is very on theme. This is, it's gonna be perfect. This is perfect. Literally, I cannot do it.
Is that somebody sneezing? Or is that a dog barking? I don't know. E died. E died. E-D-I-D-E. LSD. I see that. LSDE. IDE. Somebody please comment if you're getting this and I'm not. Some kind of puzzle or something. LEA. Lead pipe. Everything in here is for sale, I think. Oh, oh, oh. Let's see, there's a little gas tank there. looks nice. Breeze. Some tiki stuff here. The theming, at least the motif, appears to be the same throughout. Pathway, the colors, the scheme. It seems to be a lot of symbology in here. So, this is the view from that direction. There's the side door to the. That would be cool if it was an Airbnb, but I doubt it. But it would be cool if it was. Oh, okay. And this must be where they get the name Whimzeyland from. It says, so this is the private residence. I'm not allowed to enter there. But it says shine your love light there. I wonder, they must be deadheads. And you see Whimsy there. Whimzeyland. And the bowling ball motif continues throughout the entire design as well. I'll quickly walk into this room. And once I said, this is a garden first and foremost, in my personal opinion, as a former landscape architecture student. And this is most definitely divided into, quite a large series of little miniature rooms. And this is one of the more obvious of the miniature rooms that I'm talking about. But this miniature room is here, as part of the garden as well. Only one little component, out of 30 or 40 components maybe in the entire place. Anyway, CDs appear to be kind of a continuing motif here throughout the garden. Just curious about, kind of do what Carpetbagger does and go into detail about what some of the CDs are. Anyway, random disco balls. They definitely have found a way to recycle bowling balls. Maybe they found an ad on Craigslist or something from an old bowling alley that was shutting down. Here, bowling balls for sale, and say, hey, I just love gardens that are different and quirky and that stand out from other gardens. Oh, white snake, rock on. We have the Bee Gees. Okay. And really look, they have these tall trees. Right here, this is basically the middle of the yarn, but they're making you feel like you're in the jungle, basically, and then you're like on an adventure. I mean, you feel like you're totally in another world, taking a journey, like some far out there world. And look at the colorful balls, And now you're talking about scale and stuff here. Little balls next to big balls. These little details. These people, they must have design backgrounds. Anyway, even their house is designed like that. Got an eye. Ooh, Illuminati. Anyway. Oh, lizard. Look at this little shrine here. Door stuff. It's just great seeing these little pieces of oddness, appear kind of straight out in the middle where you wouldn't expect it to appear, if that makes any sense at all. This adds a little bit of brightness to everyone's day. And I love how there's different directions you can go also. So, each time you come here, maybe you can have a little bit of a different experience. Once again, the bottles are continuing motif. Pull a little carpetbagger here and go into detail on this one. And I wonder what the significance of the bank is right there next to it. Oh, there's two banks. And no, I'm not trespassing. Not yet, anyway. Not until 6 o'clock. So this is a public place. Well, not public, but they have opened up their garden for people to come look at and take photos of and stuff. But in this reference, they do gladly accept donations, and they do have some pretty cool stuff available for sale in their gift shop. I just had to put my plug in there for them. Whimzeyland. And there's their final little homage to their bowling ball sculpture art. And a little homage to, would this be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the movie, the Gene Wilder version. And you can see the bottle trees all stay consistent throughout the whole design. Yeah. All right, well, that's probably about it. But yeah, they most certainly do have wildlife in here. It's a lizard. Oh, and there's another one. You know, I saw one in my apartment this morning, and I had to find a way to get it to leave, and I did, without killing it or anything, so don't worry. Hmm. And then we have more bottles here, but different color. Nice detail there for a planter. So yeah, I would definitely say if you are in the Dunedin area, Safety Harbor area, whatever this area is called, that if you're into, you know, oddities and just things that are out of the ordinary from normal things you would typically see in daily life, I would definitely recommend having a stop by here and check this place out. And you know, like how the panels, you know, change design and change up theme on each side, you know, instead of being the same. Because all houses are the same color on every side. It gets boring. It really does. So this is just a great, you know, great change up here. Oh, wow. Well, there's microchips. Isn't that cool? So here we were at Whimsley World, Whimzeyland, Whimsley World, something like that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my video. Hope to see you again soon.